Okay, so we found Barry Karsten here. What are you doing?
I'm going to get water.
Going to get water? Why don't you get it from that beautiful pond they have down there? It's really nice.
I'm not going to go that far, but
okay.
But this is easy. It's light now. But
yeah.
When you put 55 gallons in there, it's pretty heavy.
I have full faith. If that was full, you can handle it one-handed. Yeah. Welcome to the Weege Show, everybody. This is Bud's Creek. That is New Jersey's finest. Barry Karsten, who's still here helping out his son Corey, who races pro these days. That was my all-time hero growing up. And this is the local track for a variety of regions. We covered this on this show 1 year ago. I don't expect you to remember that, but we've got a really blossoming contingent of riders from the Maryland area who actually ride this track quite a bit, and another one called Tomahawk, which I think is in West Virginia during the week. Did you get interviews?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You guys did it. All right. Can we actually pronounce the new Spanish guy's name?
William Perez.
Good job, Mitch. All right, that's Tom and Mitch from Racer X. They've already done the interviews, so I don't know if I should even bother. So yes, there's a new rider over here with a Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha. You know, a lot of people trying to claim that bike, and the Spanish kid got it for the weekend because Nick Romano is out with a thumb injury. So this show brought to you by a Honda and the new CRF450R for 2023. Yes, it is new. Redesigned power delivery with some changes to the engine and a redesigned frame to improve the handling. And it's available in 3 flavors. There's the traditional CRF450R, the Works Edition that has a lot of great high quality upgrades if you want the ultimate, and the new Anniversary Edition, which has the 1980s Honda Domination Glory Days Honda look. Duff Life. Duff Life. Okay, Duff is the mechanic for Christian Craig. Bro, the crash last week, I don't think a lot of people saw it, but it was straight nasty. It was like whiplash. Yeah. Was he not even, like, was he even 100% sure he could race last weekend?
I went up to check on him between practices, and he was in his bunk with the lights off, laying on his back, with his hand over his eyes.
Dude.
And I was like, are we going out? He said no, and Paige said yes. So
I like it.
I think if Paige wasn't there, he would have sat it out.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, he rode Tuesday, Wednesday this week though, said his neck was stiff, but he's good. But he definitely had whiplash.
Right, because
that being said, we did the 5-minute start practice before the second moto, before the second practice. Yeah. And before they went out and started the practice, I grabbed his chin bar, looked at his eyes, and said, "Are you good to go?" And his pupils looked good, and he looked good, so he didn't have a concussion.
Oh. So Dr. Duff.
Yeah.
I like Dr. Duff.
I like Dr. Duff.
Pretty good. All right. You know your guys good. Yeah. Is there a chance we get Washougal Christian Craig back? Because it was a wash last time.
Yeah, he had a really, really good week.
Okay.
Him and Dylan's riding with us every day now, so the speed is there.
Yeah, those got to be some fun motos to watch.
It's really cool.
Those guys battling.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Duff there says this guy Christian Craig should be better. Yeah, Craig went down. If you watch the qualifying show that we had on Mav TV and Mav on Flow Racing last week, the live coverage we did was the second practice, but the first practice where Craig crashed, we did have footage of it. I mean, it was a neck-snapping, whiplash-inducing. Hey guys, my old buds. Yeah. How were the trails this year? Did you get to ride?
No, you didn't show up. So
that was it. I'm the only. It's either me or GL. If we're not there, there's no riding.
Well, you know, could have bought James too.
James could. Yeah, maybe we should have done that. Maybe we should have let James do some motos in the woods. Now that would be a sight. Thanks, guys. Southern Maryland dirt riders. For years, Grant Langston and I would come to this race early and do some trail riding with these guys on Friday morning and sweat so bad. It's always so humid here, and then we get here for TV. We'd be exhausted for our afternoon meetings. I was mentioning that Honda CRF450R. It is, go to your local Honda Powersports dealer for more on those bikes. I interviewed you last week on the show. I don't know if I can I do 2 Weege shows in a row with the same guy? Is that okay?
Why not?
Okay. The heat and humidity, trolltraining.com. Give me some tips on how to deal with it here, because it's probably gonna be, what do you think, the toughest humidity-wise so far this year?
Honestly, I thought it was going to be cool, but I'm looking at the forecast and I'm seeing how it feels today.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
This is swampy.
Yeah.
What can you do? Just deal with it, or are there things you can do to prepare?
I mean, for me personally, like I always try and make sure my team has an ice bath set up or something.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of debate, like maybe you shouldn't get in an ice bath right away.
Oh, is there?
Like, get in it as fast as you can on race day.
Some people are saying like taper into it, like don't go straight in.
Right, well, they're saying that it blunts the response that you get that benefits exercise.
Oh.
But so like if you're training during the week, you don't want to hop in an ice bath right away. But like when you're racing and you have 35 minutes to be on the line, you want to cool your core body temperature down as fast as possible. So like that and electrolytes, that's a big thing. Okay, so fans coming over, riders will be in their underwear in the tanks this weekend for sure. Like I try and stay up in the lounge in the AC as much as I can too.
Dude, way back in the day, they were always like, don't go anywhere near AC, acclimate. I guess we've gotten smarter than that.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Okay, that was like the thing. Oh, back in the 80s, it was don't you dare go near air conditioning. That's 2 Weege shows in a row for Alex Martin, and we just learned about the ice bath. There we go. So yeah, this is thank you. That's right. This is by far the most humid it has been on a Friday at the race, and tomorrow's weather forecast is basically the same as this, so we'll be dealing with it for the first time this year. We'll see if that changes anything, but honestly, we don't want that much change in this series because we have an historically close championship between Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac. If you slice the numbers any way you want, the amount of points they both scored, usually don't. That's actually nice right now.
You gotta make the vlog.
You want in?
Yeah,
you want
yes,
in? No, you got it.
Thank you.
I've seen you before.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we got fans here. More fans we've seen in the pits on a Friday in a while. Any way you slice it, both the amount of points they've both scored, most amount of points by a rider second in the series. Whichever rider's in second is constantly breaking that record. Sexton has finished first or second in every moto except one. That's how consistent he's been. Any way you slice it, it's been historically close. Go by. That is an awesome pit bike. Why don't they just run 85s as pit bikes? What's up, everybody? Does this actually work?
What's going on, brother?
You don't even need kickstands. You just lock the bikes up. Don't leave me hanging. Yep. And that is phenomenal. So we don't want it to get mixed up too much. You would love for it to go down to the finale, remaining this close. It's getting yelled at, yeah. So we'll see what turns out. It's a pivotal round. I know that's hard to believe that Eli Tomac could be on the ropes in a motocross championship. But I do feel like if Sexton goes out and does what he did at Unadilla here, it proves it's not just a Unadilla thing, it's a Sexton thing. And now Tomac's had a real problem to deal with. I'm just trying to stalling as long as I can to see if anyone's over here to talk with. So we'll see if it was just a Unadilla thing for Tomac, as we talked about at the end of last week, or if potentially Sexton has just gone to the next level. The fact that we don't know the answer is what makes this so fun. And we'll throw some wild cards in the mix. This bike is back and it's being raced. This bike is back. Antonio Crowley's back in the series. The bike has been here on display all year, whether he races or not, but he is racing at Bud's. Lurch, hey. No, you're good. You know how to talk. I do. Yes. And I saw Crowley walking the track a little bit earlier. He does have a little experience at Bud's Creek. He raced here like 15 years ago with the 2007 Motocross of Nations. I don't think that really counts as experience. Probably forgot more than he remembers. But it's awesome to have Crowley back because Motocross of Nations news is starting to roll in. He will be the captain of Team Italy. He'll run the #1 plate because they won the event last year. And pretty cool that Crowley said his goal was to still race the Nations even into retirement, and that's exactly what he's going to do. A lot of other team announcements. Australia is now official. We will see the debut of Jet Lawrence on a 450 at the Red Bud Nations. Hunter Lawrence will be on a 250, and they already have a very capable 450 rider. He has speed at times. We haven't seen Mitch Evans as probably as consistent as we like. He's had a bad wrist injury that cost him 2 seasons. This year, Mitch Evans has been back and showing speed at MXGP. He'll be the other 450 rider, so that's good stuff too. Oh, is this Ezra?
Yeah, he wants to be on the last show tonight.
I would do it.
He wants to promote the chocolate.
So that is Australia's team is official. Joe Shimoda's on the Japanese team. That was just announced. The fill-in Spanish rider, Guillaume, is part of the Spanish team. Let's get Ezra in here. We're talking chocolate cake here, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Bud's Creek. We've been doing a lot of work here. It's amazing what a little paintbrush and TLC will do. I'm glad to have the circus in town. It's going to be an awesome weekend.
Yes, yes. So your dad owns the track. You've kind of taken over. So
I bought the track from my dad.
You bought it?
Yes, sir.
You straight up.
Yes,
You're
sir.
not just managing it. You own it.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I own this piece of land now.
You own it. All right. Congratulations,
Yep.
Ezra. But they're telling me, like you said, it's just a coat of paint. There's just little stuff here and there, but everybody's vibing right now. They kind of like what you've done.
Yep.
Good job.
Well, 100 small things make a huge thing.
That's it.
Yeah, we've just been hammering away at that. I have a great crew that helps me out. And I love my team and I love what I do.
And we're gonna give us chocolate cake on this track?
Oh, the track's gonna be Proud Time tomorrow.
All right.
That famous Bud's Creek chocolate cake.
It's coming your way.
We got some great rain 2 nights ago, so we have a nice moist base in there.
Yep.
The conditions are gonna be awesome, a lot of lines, great racing.
Don't argue with this guy, because look, dude, don't argue with this guy, he'll crush you. All right, Ezra Beasley, good job with your track.
Brother.
People are buzzing about the upgrades. The track has always been good here, but there's just a noticeable upgrade in the facilities. Like he said, little coat of paint here and there, all these little things. Bud's Creek looking better than ever. Bud's Creek has history with the nations. I mentioned the teams that have already been announced. Australia is going to be good. Shimoda's on the Japanese team. Team France has been announced. I don't think anybody saw Marvin Musquin racing a 250 news in motocross coming, but so be it. He is the MX2 candidate for Team France. It's kind of odd because Tom Vial is a former MX2 world champion, still in contention for that title right now, a Frenchman on a 250. He's coming to America next year. He's crushing that poor quad, Ezra Beasley. I'm gonna guess that Vial is coming to the United States next year and just wants to get focused on Supercross. Thibaut Benestop's been very good, a young French rider in the GPs, but I heard he has a shoulder injury. For whatever reason, Marvin Musquin is racing a 250 for Team France. And then Dylan Ferrandis is on the team as well. So should be interesting as it comes together for the French operation, because if there's any squad at the Nations that's been able to put a weird combination of riders together that makes your eyebrows go up and then ends up winning the event, that's them. Also, Maxime Renault, last year's MX2 champ, very good as a rookie on a 450 this year at MXGP, is the third rider on the French team. Which leaves us to this. Team USA has not yet been announced, but it will be tomorrow afternoon, and it comes down to Christian Craig or Justin Cooper who will get the 250 nod. You know it's going to be Sexton and Tomac on the big bikes. Okay, that's our show. That's all the news rolling your way here from Bud's Creek, and we will see you tomorrow with James Stewart on the broadcast, 1 o'clock Eastern, MAV TV on Flow Racing. See you then, and thanks to Honda for the support. Bonus coverage. We're all the way back here deep in the privateer pit, but one of the privateers has an awesome deal, potentially, allegedly, on the line. Let's talk to Kevin Morans. Now look, Morans, a year ago, all we talked about starts with you, dude. Yes. Supercross, motocross, factory bikes. It didn't matter. You were pulling them.
Indeed.
You need one now,
yeah,
in the worst way.
Need one bad.
Tell me what's on the line.
So what's on the line, which we had last weekend, which is more or less kind of carrying over.
All right.
But Tank Masters, right here, our sponsor. Yep. They are putting up 10 grand for a hole shot.
10 grand.
If Kev can rip a hole shot, it's 10 grand. 10 grand bonus. So,
but it's got to be the real moto, not LCQ.
Yep, no LCQ,
not from practice
no
start.
BS, no.
Yeah.
The real deal. So.
Okay.
Yeah, major shout out to them. They're actually the helmet wrap.
All right, let's check it out.
So we do the helmet wrap this weekend as well. So Tank Masters out of Orange County, New York.
What do they even do?
So this is something I didn't know. So houses on the East Coast are powered more or less by oil. Some of them more or less. You know that? Yes, no?
Well, in New York,
it's propane.
Oh, okay.
So I've always grown up to see it propane and everything like that. So they residential, commercial, and they do the environmental side of things of removing oil tanks and putting new oil tanks in. Okay. So huge shout out to them. They've jumped on board. We've got some other cool stuff as well. We've got the patrons. We got all the patron names over there. And then Cherrybees is on board with their new teal plastics here, metallic. So we're gonna race with all these and then give the plastics away, and then do the same thing next weekend. So if they join in to the Marines,
I'm going GoPro to GoPro there.
I know, right? They join in the Marines Mafia, they can get their name on the bike and win some plastics.
It's legit. You got room. You got room for more names.
Your name, we got, absolutely. So,
all right, so pressure's on.
Pressure's on.
Holy in a moto, $10,000.
Tank Masters is what it's at. So Tank Masters Environmental.
If you do it, maybe a fist in the air, a fist pump,
if we are going to the first corner, if I come out with the whole shot,
there it is.
The number one's going up.
There it is. 10 grand. Thanks, Tank Masters, helping out the privateer, Kevin Morans, who is probably the most innovative privateer on the marketing side and building sponsorships. That is pretty awesome what he's able to put together, and allows him to get to the races.